Hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. This is the 89 Batman version 2.0 by Hot Toys. I'm gonna start by unboxing it, then I'm gonna try to upgrade it, and I'll take you through that process step by step. But if you want to skip ahead, you can do so by using the provided chapters. And by the way, I have a video playlist dedicated to custom figures that you can check out if interested. As always, this is a nicely packaged toy. Now this is the collector edition, not the deluxe, so it doesn't come with the gargoyle diorama base. That diorama is tight, no question about it, but I'm always concerned about space for my figures, so I went without it. I'm really impressed by the amount of accessories this guy comes with, and I'll take a closer look at those in a moment. But for now, let's take a closer look at this head sculpt. That's definitely Michael Keaton, and from this angle, it doesn't look so bad. Now, is his belt yellow or brass? It's obviously yellow here, and I think it's yellow in most shots from the movie, but sometimes it also looks like brass with a metallic sheen. Prime One Studio, for instance, went with that look on their statue. The figure feels stiff, really stiff, and I'm worried that manipulating it too much will cause damage to the rubber body. Is that a real issue? Let me know in the comments. As usual, it comes with a base. Personally, I don't usually use them. I really don't like crotch grabbing stands. I think that toy companies could move away from stands by placing very strong magnets in their figures' feet. The base would also have to be magnetic, of course. Now, here's his gauntlet with line launcher, which is from a very famous part of the movie. It's cool that they've included it, even though I probably won't use it. And here are the two additional faceplates, Battle Damaged and Goofy Tooth Face. Yes, that's TOOF. We're gonna do a deep dive on the cowl in just a moment, and I'll show them to you displayed on it. But let's go back to the accessories because there are so many of them. Vicky Vale's shoe is actually a clever idea, and I'm glad they included it. Of course, you've got the usual assortment of hands. So many hands. And it's such a nice detail to include these metal beads. Not sure what else to call them. This hand must go along with the crotch stopper device. I'm saying crotch a lot, but it's also a nice touch. Of course, you have the grapple gun, and a batarang with attached rope. had to look this one up I think it's the bomb timer. I don't remember that from the movie. Now, these are the rods that you can insert into the cape, and I'll try to do that here. He's got the grip hands to hold these rods. And here's my attempt to show what that actually looks like. I'd have to spend a lot more time on perfecting it, but I just don't want to. Okay, back to the cowl as promised. It's Michael Keaton, but it's off. I like the texture on the cowl, but I think the shape is wrong. The nose is too thin. It looks like a beak. I think the cowl's thickness in general needed to be much thicker and also more faithful to the original lines. It's like they went subtle with it when it needed to be exaggerated. Here's the battle damage faceplate on the cowl. Looks pretty good. And the goofy Two-Face. I'm going to talk more about this faceplate a little later in the video, but for now, let's go back to the cape. It's not bad, and I actually like the whole idea with using the rods, but I think it's too thick. And to prove my point, I have a custom cape here by Jaxon. This is his Drape cape, and it's much thinner than the Hot Toys cape. It falls much more naturally on the body, and I'll show that to you in a moment. Here also is a wired cape by Jaxon. You can see that this is very thick and leathery, not so good for realism, but great for dynamic posing. I'll also show that to you on the figure. This is the Hot Toys cape, and I suppose you can smooth it out if you want to fall more naturally, or you can bend it and play with it for a more dynamic look. Now here's Jaxon's Drape cape. Looks a lot more natural, and you can fold it back over his shoulders easily, which also looks good. Now here's the wire cape, and as you can see, it requires some manipulation. I'm not the greatest at this, but here's what I came up with quickly. I'm sure you can create a lot better poses with patience. If you didn't know, Jaxon also created a custom faceplate for this figure. That's what I'm unboxing now. Out of the box, it looks pretty similar to the Hot Toys faceplate. The paint app is much lighter, and the lips look to be a little more exaggerated or fuller. Let's throw it on the cowl and see how it looks. Is it a worthy upgrade? I think so, but I think it needs a repaint. On Instagram, RF Custom Figures did just that, and I think that looks nice. So you'd have to hire a painter or paint it yourself if you're talented like RF Custom Figures. I'd like to propose another alternative to the Hot Toys cowl, and that's the Jazzinc seated Batman figure. You may have seen this proposed by Justin on his channel too. I like this cowl. Compared to the Hot Toys version, it looks more like a guy in a mask, if that makes sense. I think they did a better job on the shape of the mask too. Hot Toys definitely takes the cake for texture and paint though. How does it look on the Hot Toys body? Well, let's just pop it on like so. It doesn't really work. The head is too small for the body and the textures don't match. To be fair, this cowl is intended to be displayed inside a vehicle, so I don't think Jazzinc went all out on the details. However, if Jazzinc sold a separate body, one that is standing, and in proportion to this cowl, I think people would buy it. Let's move on to another alternative. This is a cowl made by Unreal Toys. Unreal has a tarnished reputation online. He's ghosted a lot of people, myself included. But I don't want to go into that. Let's just focus on the toy. I actually bought this secondhand from someone who received his order. Right out of the box, I think it's the most screen accurate version. The shape is there, the texture is there, though subtle compared to Hot Toys. And the faceplate looks great. When comparing them side by side, Unreal Toys is the winner to me with one exception: the eyes. Both cowls feature movable eyes, but the Unreal eyes are generic compared to the Hot Toys version. The Unreal version also includes 2 alternate portraits. The battle damage face is very similar to the Hot Toys one. But Unreal also includes this angry or frowning portrait that makes a lot more sense than the Hot Toys goofy tooth version, in my opinion. Here's a quick comparison between Unreal Toys and Jazzinc. Again, I prefer the Unreal version. But wait, there's one more option to explore, and that's a hack, quote unquote, by Venchiart. I saw this on Instagram, and I thought I'd give it a try since I never planned to use the goofy tooth portrait anyway. I'll include instructions for this hack in the description. Essentially, you want to remove the teeth from the back of the faceplate using boiling water and a tool like a flathead screwdriver. The teeth are actually connected to the magnet, and it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to remove, but I did it. You're left with a gap in his mouth, which you then partially close using a combination of hot and cold water. Here's the result, and I think it looks really good in person. On video like this, I think the gap in his mouth is more noticeable. It looks like he's about to say something. But again, in person, I think this Venchiart version is actually better than the Hot Toys regular portrait and the Jaxon portrait. At least the Jaxon portrait before any kind of repaint. Whether it's better than the Jazzinc Cowl or the Unreal Cowl, I think comes down to personal preference. Which one is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. Here's my final iteration, at least for now, using the Hot Toys body, the Unreal Toys cowl, and Jaxon's Drape cape. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment below, and subscribe if you want to see more toy videos in the future. Thanks for watching.